One, two, three. In the place to be. Mic check. One, two, three. It's time for another takeoff show. As you can tell, I got the Jacksons in the background. I'm heavy this morning. Got the Jacksons in the background. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Amen. Like and share and like. We are live, and it is time for the takeoff show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your motivational pilot, Reverend Dr. Kelcey West. I'm bringing you greetings, amen, from the lab, from the studio. What a week. What a weekend this has been. We're starting off this week, and I tell you, I just had to take my time this morning, and my goal initially was to, let me just give myself a little volume on the background. I don't want Facebook to shut me down this morning, but let me give myself just a little bit of background as I'm listening to the Jacksons live in concert. I like to listen to their older concerts, amen. Not the Victory Tour, but the Triumph Tour, the Destiny Tour. Those are my favorite tours by the Jacksons. And so I'm going to try not to be all over the place today, but what a week. What a week this has been. We had, first we were dealing with saying farewell to James Earl Jones, Frankie Beverly. And then last night, amen, I was sitting on the couch and it came through that the founding member, amen, possibly the reason why the group was put together, Tito Jackson, amen, the man with the strings, the man on the guitar, the man who didn't say a lot, but his presence was always felt. Tito Jackson, amen, went home to be with the Lord. And so on today, on this Motivational Monday, amen, I don't even know what to call this one because the weekend was pretty heavy for myself. Not heavy in a sad way, but just heavy in a real way. When you are a pastor, when you are a preacher, sometimes I hear people say the word weekend, and I really want to ask people, man, what are you talking about? Because my weekend is different than other people's, man. My weekend, this weekend, although I had a beautiful Saturday night date with my wife, amen, my weekend was still comprised of 3 sermons, 3 speaking opportunities. So whenever you are speaking, that means you are in the lab writing. And so a lot of work, man. We work hard to play hard, but a lot of times we're working more than we're playing. But on this morning, man, this Motivational Monday, the word reunion is really in my heart and mind, man. I just want to thank the good Lord for allowing magical reunions to take place. I remember watching Motown 25, and I remember Michael Jackson saying, it's beautiful, being on stage with all of his brothers, including Jermaine. And so we thank God for those reunion moments where we got a chance to see all of the brothers on stage together. And then when he did his 30th anniversary celebration at Madison Square Garden, all the brothers were together on stage. I think my favorite part of the reunion show when he did it at Madison Square Garden was when the camera showed a picture of his mom, of their mom. And their mom was on she was on the side of the stage, and she just had a look of just being so proud. And so on this morning, man, we're lifting up Katherine Jackson today in prayer. And this, man, I'm from the heart this morning, man. Growing up, I was born in 1971, so by the time I come on the scene, the Jacksons are already, that group. And I know I joke a lot. People know I love New Edition. That's my favorite group. But my GOATs, man, don't get it twisted, man. My GOATs, my all-time favorite GOATs, number one is the Temptations with David Ruffin, that lead singer. That particular ensemble, man, that's number one in my book. They are the GOATs. Every other group, in my opinion, is chasing David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Paul Williams, Otis Williams, and Melvin Blue Franklin. After them on my GOAT list of groups, we're talking groups, man. Now you got the Jacksons, and I'm going to come back and talk about the Jacksons. Then my third favorite all-time group, that's where New Edition falls. I want to keep it 100 today. All time, I grew up listening to the Temptations. I grew up before there was a YouTube. And so whenever I saw clips of them dancing, that was the look. They were polished. They were men. And I wanted to move like that. I wish I could sing like that, but I really wanted to move like that. And then shouts out to my cousin Cherry. My cousin Cherry, she's my big cousin, my big little cousin. She was such a lover of Michael Jackson. I had the Jacksons' music all around me. I mean, she is probably the world's greatest Michael Jackson fan. And so I was always surrounded by Michael Jackson music. Here is my Jackson, tribute, my moment. Here's why I'm so connected to them. Man, again, people know I love to dance. My dancing comes from mimicking the Jacksons. That was the first group that I really mimicked. That was the first group that I really wanted to dance like. And so a very special connection to the Jacksons, man. Love the Jacksons, something terrible. I have shared it before. I'll share it again. My first concert was the Victory Tour. Man, who does that? The first time I get to go to a concert, the first time I get a ticket in my hand, the first time I sit to be able to see a stage, I'm waiting for the Jacksons to appear. And so that was a special, special moment. One of my favorite cassettes all time. I think I got this one from my cousin Sharon, who has also gone home to be with the Lord. Sharon had the Jacksons live cassette, and I think I got it from her, took it from her, borrowed it from her, and never gave it back. But that cassette tape, and I still have it. I was going to look for it this morning, but it's in a different trunk that I did not feel like pulling out this morning. But that cassette, the Jacksons live, man, I listened to that song, to that cassette every day. I'm talking fourth and fifth grade. I listened to that cassette every day to the point where I knew the breakdowns, I knew the talking pieces, I knew how they transition in between songs. I imagined myself, amen, being on stage with them. I imagine myself being behind Michael as he's talking to the brothers, and then as I became a better dancer, then I would be Michael, and just all the breakdowns. Man, I think I want to rock, going into rock with you. I don't want to do the old stuff. The choreography is old. Jackie, you were old, but if we're gonna do it like we did it on the Ed Sullivan Show, and then we break into the Motown medley. I promise you, man, I studied the Jacksons, man, from Can You Feel It to closing the show with Shake Your Body Down to the Ground. I am a huge fan of the Jacksons. By the time I come on the scene, they're not really performing as much on Soul Train. I do not remember seeing them live on Soul Train. I do remember seeing them live on American Bandstand, where they would, on that particular episode, they had on the blue astronaut outfits, and they were doing Shake Your Body Down to the Ground. I remember seeing that live. I remember one of my favorite, just Jackson songs, man, Good Times. That is just one of my favorite cuts. And so this morning, man, just taking a moment just to put that word out there, man, reunion. Every chance you get, try to reunite, man, with the people you love, with the people you care about. Again, I shared this on yesterday, and it's ringing so true, man. Serious. My mama used to tell me, Kelcey, people are leaving here that have never left before. People are dying that have never died before. And, man, we deal with death all the time. Death is nothing new. But just taking a moment to encourage you on this Motivational Monday to just take a moment, man. Serious, man. If you can get on stage with the people you love, make it happen. If you can get on stage with the people you've been rocking with, make it happen. And so, again, on this morning, I want to go in a different angle. One of the things that I've really been thinking about as of late, as we celebrate the departure of greatness, is, are we raising up greatness? And so one of the shifts I want to make in our flight schedule today is, because I don't want this to be a super sad, a full-blown memorial flight, I want to challenge somebody today, and I want to challenge you today to release your greatness. That's what I want to challenge you today to do. Amen. Welcome to the Takeoff Show again. I am Reverend Dr. Kelcey West, and today I want to encourage you to release your greatness. And the reason why I'm challenging you to release your greatness is because, man, in the last decade or so, man, we have lost greatness, amen. And I just hope and pray we are replacing greatness with greater greatness, amen. I mean, when you think about this from a musical standpoint, man, who is in the wings ready to produce music that's going to live forever? Right now, as I sit and I listen to these songs by the Jacksons, man, these songs still, if the truth be told, sound, just as good, if not better, than anything that's on the radio right now. The musicianship, amen, the horns, the keys, the vocals, lead and background, the arrangements, amen. These songs are timeless. And so my encouragement for you on today, release your greatness, man. Allow yourself to be in a place where you can produce things, you can release things that are going to outlive you. The record is going to show Tito Jackson passed on yesterday in the year of 2024. But guess what? 2025, we're going to be listening to the Jackson music. 2026, somebody's going to be playing their music. And so are you taking the time to really, really put your heart, your soul? Are you really taking your time to really, empty yourself so that just the best, not good, but the best work can come out of you? That's the challenge, man. That's the encouragement. I know sometimes we get satisfied or we get frustrated to the point where I'm just going to do something. I'm just going to do it. I want to get it over with. But ladies and gentlemen, man, the sand is falling too fast through the hourglass for us to just be going through the motion and just to be doing something just for the sake of doing it. Today is a great day for us to really, really make sure we are sharpening our pencils, amen. You want to really, really make sure that you are revisit the notes that are in your journals. You want to make sure you are really, really putting your best foot forward so that when this life is over, when it is time, amen, to stand before your Creator, you will be able to not just look for Him to say, well done, my good and faithful servant, but you should want to be able to meet Him and lay at His feet a crown that represents your life, your heart, your blood, your sweat, your tears, and to really show your appreciation. Because so often we say when we get to heaven, we're going to be one big choir. Well, I don't know if the Lord is really going to assemble a choir of people who didn't give 100%. I don't really know if the Lord is going to put a choir together with people who didn't present their bodies as a living sacrifice. I don't really know if the Lord is going to assemble people to sing praises to Him who did not let His mind be in them. Talk back to me, somebody. I just don't know if He's going to say, I want you all to be in my heavenly choir, seeing that you really didn't keep your hand on the plow. I just don't know if the Lord is going to say, I want you to really, really be in my choir where I got to listen to you for eternity, knowing you had a quitting spirit about you, seeing that there was no quit in me. So on today, ladies and gentlemen, use the breath, use the life, use the opportunities and the moments that the good Lord has given you to create the best that you can. I mean, that's my challenge on today for myself. I'm not gonna say I'm at a loss, but I'm humbled. I was in a meeting on yesterday with my executive team, and we were talking, and I was so grateful that they received what I was saying, because I was just sharing with them, man, none of us are getting younger, and so we have to respect where we are. So at 53, if I say I need you all prepared for what happens if something happens to me, man, that's not me speaking death over me. That's not me speaking in fear. That's me speaking in reality. Reality is nobody has been promised to be here forever. And so while the blood is running warm in our bodies, it is imperative that we release greatness. That's my challenge, man. That's my personal commitment, man. And it's starting with myself. I'm grateful that God has allowed me to put my hands on some things that I believe can and will outlive me. Amen. I just believe that there are some projects that legacy has been established, and I'm humbled by that, and I give God glory for that. And so on today, we're talking about releasing your greatness. Amen. How do we do that? And I'm not saying you're going to, I know in times past I've talked in terms of a thriller. Man, that may happen, but there's so many projects beneath the thriller that are still great. Talk back to me, somebody. And so it's not about having the world's greatest project, but it's having a project where somebody could say, wow, that was great. Talk back to me, somebody. Again, from the Jacksons, amen. It's the songs that people may consider to be the chart toppers, man. Those are not the ones that I really wish they would have performed, man. I really want to hear the Jacksons sing All I Do Is Think of You. Man, I love their version of it, man. I appreciate Troop's version of it, and I really thought it was a Troop song until I heard them sing it on Soul Train, and then I was like, oh my God, the vocals, the arrangement. Again, I'm a true Jackson fan, and we have lost another piece of greatness. Frankie Beverly is gone. Who is now? Hear me when I say this. I'm saying this with a spirit of humility, and I'm not throwing shade at any artist, but now, who's our closer? I'm going to say it again, man. You talk about relay races, man. You got to have an anchor leg. For decades, for as long as I can remember, whether it was the Budweiser Superfest, whether it was the Essence Festival, whether it was the Tom Joyner stuff, we knew who was closing the show. We knew who could bring the white outfits out. We knew who could make grown people sing, and we knew, amen, before we were really calling it line dancing, we knew, amen, when Frankie Beverly was on the concert poster, you knew the type of crowd he was going to bring out. Even when his health was failing him, hear me when I say this, Frankie Beverly and Maze is so great. This is why I'm taking a moment to celebrate greatness. Frankie Beverly and Maze was so great. Man, do your math, man. They haven't put out an album since forever. The last Frankie Beverly and Maze album may have been right around the same time as Thriller. Talk back to me, somebody. But despite not having an album, they always had a stage presence, always had the ability to fill arenas. Why? Because they had a timeless catalog. That's what I'm really encouraging somebody today. Work on producing a timeless catalog, a catalog where you can reach back and you can perform it today if need be, a catalog that you can still eat off of. Talk back to me, somebody. And so, ladies and gentlemen, who's our closer? Frankie Beverly, amen, has departed from this world. Who is now producing songs? Because again, it's some stuff that I hear on the radio. I don't know if I want to be singing that stuff when I'm 75. I don't know who is creating the songs where we could say, man, this is our family reunion album. Amen. This is the song where 5 generations can get on the dance floor and dance at the same time. Talk back to me, somebody. As great as Beyonce is, and I'm not, listen, man, there is no shade in me. I've been called by God to be the light. I just tell you how I feel. As great as Beyonce is, her version of Before I Let You Go, I was like, don't touch that one. That is a classic song. There are some songs you just don't want people to touch, and Before I Let You Go is one of them. One of my favorite breakdowns. There's certain moments that I just had to experience in life. I'm talking concerts, stadium moments, amen. There are some moments, amen, again, to be in the Pontiac Silverdome on August 18th when the Jacksons were there, to be able to scream as loud as I could and sing with them, Can You Feel It? That's a moment I'll never forget. To be a man in the Aladdin Theater in Las Vegas and be able to scream as loud as I could and sing with Frankie Beverly and Mays, Joy and Pain, like sunshine and rain. These are moments from a concert perspective I am so grateful I was able to experience. Amen, somebody. To be a man in in the MGM Arena, amen, with Prince, and to be able to lift my voice as loud as I wanted to and sing, Purple Rain with him. These are moments, man, that I will never, ever, I pray I never forget, amen. I saw a young Whitney Houston, amen. That may have been my second date as a teenager. My parents took myself and my date to see Whitney Houston, amen. This was the first album when she had the slick back hair before they put all the hair on her head. That Whitney Houston, when she was my girlfriend before Bobby took her from me, amen. That Whitney Houston, man, to be at Pine Knob, amen, in Michigan and lift my voice and scream as loud as I wanted to as we were singing to each other, amen, saving all my love for you. Come on, somebody. I'm reminiscing this morning. We have lost greatness, man. Greatness has departed from this world. And so the question must be asked on today, who's going to replenish the earth? Who's going to replenish the earth with greatness? Again, we always talking about climate change. Well, right now, I'm talking about creative change. Amen. There's a creative change in the air. There's a creative change in the world. And that's what I feel is affecting the world so much, man. Who's producing music that just makes us want to dance? Who's producing music that makes us stop thinking about being hungry and we just focus on being dancing? Who's producing music right now that makes us forget that we're financially strapped, but we just focus on having a good time? I'm talking about the music. Come on, talk back to me, somebody. The music that turned your parents' basement into a nightclub. The parents that made your garage feel like it was Chuck E. Cheese. We ain't know nothing about no Chuck E. Cheese growing up. We knew, hey man, you gonna tape some balloons to the garage wall. We're gonna bring out this strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate ice cream. Somebody gonna put some hot dogs on the grill, and you're gonna have a hot dog or a hamburger, and it wasn't buns, just gonna go in some real bread. Talk back to me, somebody. Somebody gonna have some ketchup and some mustard packets, but the music was so good, man. Shouts out to the people, amen, I'm talking old school DJs who didn't have music and laptops, but they had to carry their crates and wires were everywhere. You couldn't, you had to make sure you ain't unplug something or step on a wire, or the whole party would stop. I'm talking about who's producing music to the point where if somebody bumped the table, that's what made the real fight start off. We wasn't fighting over who had on what color or who was dancing with whose girl. A real fight, come on, somebody. I'm talking about before we got caught up in the world. The real fight broke out when man, who bumped the table, man? Who bumped the table, man? You messed up my jam. And man, listen, man, who's producing songs that'll make you stand by the DJ booth until he play your song? Who's producing that type of music where when the party is going and you hear the DJ just start to slightly mix in your song and you stop dancing on the song he's currently playing because you're now anticipating the next song? Who's producing that type of greatness? Talk back to me, somebody. Where when you hear somebody singing that song, you say, man, lead out alone. We'll need nobody, amen. The only person, we gave Coco a pass when she sang Patti LaBelle's song, but bet nobody else touch a Patti LaBelle song. Talk back to me, somebody. And so who's producing greatness? Who's producing albums, amen? I know we don't talk in terms of albums, but who's producing projects where you can listen to both sides in its entirety? Who's producing music like that? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking albums, amen. Wasn't no give me track 1, then track 4, then track 8. I'm talking albums where you just let the record play. Talk back to me, somebody. I'm encouraging somebody to produce greatness like that, where every song on your album is a potential hit. And if it's not a hit to the radio, it's a hit to somebody that's listening to your songs. I wish somebody would come clean today and just remember the songs that were not super great. They were not big sellers, amen, but these were the songs, amen, that you sing, you know all the words to. Talk back to me, somebody. And man, is anybody? I'm just reminiscing today, man. We need greatness today, man. Does anybody produce slow songs? Is this the first generation that don't know how to slow dance? Can somebody please go into the studio and just produce R&B music? Can we please buy a radio station? Can we please create some type of a platform where we can play grown folk music? I waited all my life to get grown. Now I'm of wicker chair age. I'm of sipping from a glass age, but I do not have an original soundtrack to listen to. It is a shame, amen. Here I am in my 50s, and I still got to listen to the stuff my older cousins was listening to. Talk back to me, somebody. Can somebody, I'm talking to you, we need greatness today, man. Where are the R&B singers, amen? Man, listen, greatness has left us, amen, and I'm not looking for another Teddy Pendergrass, but can somebody produce some music that really make you want to turn off the lights? Talk back to me, somebody. Is there a Peebo Bryson out there? Somebody that can create some greatness that can help us feel the fire? Is there some greatness out there, man? Where is a Barry White who can put an orchestra together so that we can look into the eyes of the one we love and say, you my first, you my last, you my everything? Is there some greatness out there? Man, we need some people to go into the studio and to produce greatness, amen. Again, man, we're not talking about they don't have to be hits on the radio. Come on, I'm looking for a Shirley Murdoch. Is there a Shirley Murdoch out there? Because I guarantee you, if we had a concert and they start playing As We Lay, it's gonna blow your mind. Your grandmama know that song, your mama know that song, your aunts know that song, your big sister know that song. Stop playing with me, amen. We need to produce some greatness, man. Who are where is the greatness going to come from, man? Because again, I appreciate seeing our legends in concert. I really do. But man, who are the next up and comers? Who are the ones, amen, who are pushing them like Prince pushed Rick James? You couldn't get no bigger than Rick James in the 80s, man. Stop playing. Don't let the Dave Chappelle skits fool you. Rick James was that dude. I wish somebody would type in the comments cold-blooded. I wish somebody would type in the comments busting loose. I wish somebody would type in the comments fire and desire. Rick James was so cold. I'm telling you, man, I thought Tina Marie was a sister. He put such a funk behind her. When I found out Tina Marie was not black, I'm telling you, man, it blew my mind. Where is the greatness coming from, man? We have lost greatness, man. Somebody has to take their time, get in the studio, and produce the timeless hits. Come here, Maurice White. If you don't know who Maurice White is, shame on you. Philip Bailey is not the original lead singer for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Philip Bailey, amen, comes in and he sings lead on Reasons. But the original lead singer for Earth, Wind, and Fire is Maurice White, another legend that has gone home to be with the Lord again. Who is going to produce our greatness? There is a void in the land. I'm talking to somebody. I'm not focusing on climate change. I'm focusing on creativity change. And we got to change the narrative. So much now is still based on, I'm going to remix. I'm going to do what somebody else is doing and call it a tribute. Well, imitation may be flattery, but guess what? Everybody don't want to be flattered. Go in the studio and create your own sound. Go in the studio and write some songs. Amen. I want to give a shout out. He's living. I'm just giving a shout out, man. I went to see Babyface for the first time. He was on tour with New Edition, and I had told people, man, I really ain't feeling Babyface, man. He just gonna sing a lot of slow stuff. I ain't feeling that, and so I'm just gonna get there when I think New Edition gonna get on when they gonna take the stage. But knowing me, I hate being late for anything. I get to the show on time. Babyface comes out, and in the middle of his set, Babyface said, I'm going to sing the songs I have written for other people. Babyface went through about 30 songs that he wrote for other people, and it just made me stop and go, man, this is greatness. Amen. He is the Smokey Robinson of our time. Man, do your homework, man. The three cats that have written a lot of songs, listen, do your homework. Smokey Robinson, Lionel Richie, Babyface, man, these cats have written a lot of songs. Barry Manilow said, I write the songs that the whole world sing, but you better study Babyface, Lionel Richie, and Smokey Rock, man, you better study their catalogs, man, because they wrote for everybody. Babyface started going through songs that he wrote for other people, and I was just scratching my head. I was going, man, I forgot that really, man, you take Babyface away, we may not get the Don't Be Cruel album. You take Babyface away, Johnny Gill does not have his biggest hit, My. You take Babyface away, and Boys to Men really don't have those hits. And so, man, today we are celebrating greatness. Today, I am speaking to the greatness that's in you. Today, I am speaking, amen. Watch this. I'm not speaking to the next Roberta Flack, but I'm speaking to a Roberta Flack. Today, I'm not speaking to the next, amen. Who am I thinking about? Not Sam Cooke. Layla, Donnie Hathaway. That's it, man. I'm thinking of greatness today, man. No shade on anybody, but I'm thinking about the late greats, man. Donnie Hathaway, man. Listen, I'm a fan of those. They were orchestra leaders. They were just not singers, man. I'm talking about cats like Isaac Hayes, man. Do your homework, man. Have you ever studied Isaac Hayes and just really listened to what he put together? Have you really dissected the theme from Shaft and really listened to the orchestra, to the strings, to the production of that? Man, listen, man, come here, Godfather of Soul, man. Do y'all not realize I watch When We Were Kings at least once every 2 weeks just to catch not only Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, but I watch that just to see James Brown take over Africa. Man, listen, man. Who is producing the soundtrack that's going to calm us? Y'all do remember when Dr. King died, amen, when the country was in civil unrest, they called James Brown into Boston, which is one of the most racially, amen, challenged cities in the world. They called James Brown in and said, you got to sing tonight. You got to speak to your people, because can't nobody speak to your people like you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 2024. Who's speaking to our people? Who's singing to our people? Man, listen, tell me if I missed it, y'all tell me. We had a black president, what's the soundtrack? We had a black president, what's the song? When we hear it, we think about him. I need somebody to help me with that, because maybe I missed it. If I missed it, I promise you I stand corrected. Put it in the comments. What is the song when we hear it, we go, man, that's President Obama? What's the song right now when we hear it, we say, man, I'm thinking about Sister Harris? What is the song, amen, when we hear it, we think about the Million Man March? Who's producing the soundtracks, amen, because our greats are gone? Let me look over my shoulder. Up top, I would pull it down, but I don't want everything to fall on me. I got the Curtis Mayfield. Hold on. Here we go, man. People think I'm playing with this music, man. I got the Curtis Oh, let me get this out the way. I got the Curtis Mayfield. Here we go, man. Stop playing with me. I got the Curtis Mayfield collection. Come on, somebody. Don't play with my blackness, man. Don't play with my love for music, man. I got the Curtis Mayfield. Amen. You listen, man. Who's creating our music today, man? Watch this, man. I got stuff in here, man. Watch this. Who's creating, amen, the next What's Going On? Hey, man, this is the Marvin Gaye catalog, man. Listen, man, I am a lover of music, man. We need people to go into the lab. We need people to go into the studio and create greatness. And so on today, that's what this that's what this Motivational Monday is about. It's about encouraging you. Excuse me. It's about encouraging you to produce your greatness. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Let us all, starting with myself, let us go into the studio and let us produce greatness, man. That's where my heart is on today. Take your time, put the right team together, get the right producers, get the right musicians, get the right singers, get the right arrangers, amen, get the right writers, and put your best project together. Stop rushing through stuff. Be anxious for nothing. Stop just slapping stuff together and saying you're doing it in the name of the Lord. Man, put a spirit of excellence behind it. Talk back to me, somebody. Be patient for nothing. It may take you a while. Talk back to me, somebody. Yes, he's still living, but man, who's pushing Stevie Wonder right now? Who is right now, amen? Who's the musical genius? Who are we calling a musical genius right now? Who was the last blind person that blew our mind? Talk back to me, somebody. Ray Charles is gone. Who was that person, amen, who can merge gospel and soul and give us a sound we've never heard before? Amen, somebody. Who is our current Sam Cooke? Who is that person, amen, that can blend church gospel, R&B, and sports all together? You got to study Sam Cooke, amen, and his relationship with Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. And so that's where I'm coming from today, man. I believe it. I believe it, man. I believe there is greatness in you. I believe, amen, there's a sound in you. I believe, amen, there's a project in you. And this is my plea. This is my prayer. Don't take it to the grave. So often we talk about, man, I'm taking this to the grave and that to the grave. Well, guess what? There's some dirt you may have done with one of your friends. Man, you may have to take that to the grave. But your greatness, that which God has given you to release to the world, man, don't take that to the grave. Don't take that book to the grave. Don't take that song to the grave. Don't take that dance routine to the grave. Don't take that speech to the grave. Don't take that movie to the grave. Don't take, amen, that which God gave you to release to the world. Don't take that which God gave you for his glory on earth to the grave. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. This plane is landing. Let's get ready. Find your studio. Find your lab. Amen. And I want you to turn the lights on today, and I just want you to put on air. I want you to light it up today on air. Let your friends and family know I'm working on something. Let the world know I'm working on something. I need somebody, amen, to please, I'm begging you, please, in my James Brown voice, please put a do not disturb sign outside your door and tell people, don't disturb me with stuff, amen, that's going to throw me, that's going to knock me off my square right now. Don't bring me into meetings and mess that's going to cause me not to be able to focus on producing and releasing the greatness that is in me. I need somebody, again, you are not arrogant this morning. You are not being braggadocious. You are not cocky. You're not stuck up. But I need somebody to declare and decree I'm great. I was thinking about something on this weekend, and I pray it may offend, it may upset people, but this is my reality. It hit me this weekend. I was like, man, there are people I know I'm smarter than, and they've made $1 million. I know it's some people I'm way more creative than, but they've made $1 million. What did I miss? And then it hit me. I mean, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I really felt like God was telling me they made their $1 million because they didn't stop applying themselves when you did. When you slowed down, when you got off track, it cost you $1 million. I'm talking to somebody today. There are people out there, they're not as talented as you are. They're not as strong as you are. They're not as fast as you are, but they never stop applying themselves. They kept moving when you stopped. I'm talking to somebody today. I have no idea where we could have gone with plays had I not stopped. I have no idea where we could have gone. I've had some hiccups, even in ministry. I've had some hiccups, even in my corporate journey. Where would I be at today had I not got tripped up along the way? So, ladies and gentlemen, now unto him who's able to keep us from falling. Yes, that's where I need to be. Now unto him who's able to make sure, amen, that he completes the work that he has started in us. Now unto him who's able to make our latter days greater than our past. Now unto him, amen, who knew us and called upon us that which we would be before we were in our mother's womb. Now unto him, amen, who can make sure you hit every note and hit every step. Now unto him who can make sure, amen, that you complete the chapters to your book you never thought you would finish. Now unto him, amen, who can teach you how to paint like he taught James Evans Jr. Now unto him, amen, and not only James Evans Jr. Hold on. I thought, oh, here it is. Man, y'all, man, I'm telling y'all, man, I love blackness, man. Who's the next Ernie Barnes? This is my favorite painter all times. Everything that JJ did on Good Times, it was the work of Ernie Barnes. I love Ernie Barnes. And so who is our Ernie Barnes right now? Hold on, let me see what else is in the library. Oh, snap. Original Vibe magazine, stop playing with me right now. Who is our current Biggie and Tupac right now? Right now. Hey, man, these brothers been gone for a long time, and we still talk about them like they just died. We talking about greatness, say, man, greatness. Release your greatness. Biggie only gave us a couple albums, and we talk about Biggie as if he had the catalog of LL Cool J. Biggie only gave us a couple of albums, but we talk about him as if he just gave us millions of songs. That is not the case. We talk about Tupac as if Tupac was always at the top of the charts. Anybody that really know Tupac knows Tupac, amen, was not at the top of the charts. His first couple albums, the radio wasn't feeling it, but then he took off, but that's a whole nother show. Dropped your greatness. When it was time for him to drop a double album, Tupac gave us, amen, a double album. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you have more than one album in you. Some of you have a 1999 in you. Y'all remember when 1999 came out? It was 2 albums in one. And some of us were going, what is this? There are really 2 albums in one album. Prince had that much material in him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's greatness in you. And I need to conclude before you get off this plane. I need somebody to be honest with this one. Watch this. In the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, I had never seen this before because I've always been one to read the inside album covers. I would always just sit and I would just read album covers. Hey, man, that's how I learned. I was mesmerized when I learned when you listen to Rock With You, the finger snapping on Rock With You, that's Janet Jackson. And I learned that because when I was reading the credits, I was like, man, who are these people that work with Michael Jackson? I see Quincy Jones. I see a man named Rod Temperton. I see these cats on horns. But then it said finger snapping, Janet Jackson. I said, Lord, have mercy. And so, but then I read another album cover a little while later, and it said all instruments, everything performed by Prince. Everything produced by, arranged by, sung by, played by Prince. I'm going somewhere with this. I'll never forget the interview. Barry White was being interviewed. I think this was the Jet Show. And they were asking him about how come he never worked with Marvin Gaye. And he said Marvin Gaye wanted him to produce him before he died. Another great one, gone. Barry White said he had to tell Marvin Gaye, nobody can produce Marvin Gaye but Marvin Gaye. I'm talking to somebody today. You think you need help? Can't nobody produce you like you. God has given you the ability to produce yourself. Get in the studio and release your greatness. Amen. You may think you need this great team. You may think you need a record deal. You may think you need all of this, that, or the other, but God has given you the ability to play all the instruments. God has given you the ability to hear what others can't hear. God has given you the ability to push yourself in ways other people can't do it. So that's it, man. Our plane has landed for today. I want to say thank you for flying with me on this Motivational Monday. I hope you feel better. I feel better, man. Serious. I just had to really just deal with that. Hold on. That's the Jacksons in the background. And so I've been listening to them as I've been on my show. And so that's it, man. As you are exiting this plane expeditiously, go straight to the studio. Don't play around today. Go straight to the studio and get ready to release your best album. And let me just tilt my hat just a little bit more to the side. Amen. Let me go ahead and get bold with it. Amen. That's my tribute to the Jackson 5 on the Ed Sullivan Show. Who's Loving You? Amen. You got a young Michael Jackson singing lead, and to his left, a couple brothers over, is his big brother. I'm gonna say it again. His big brother, Tito Jackson. We want to thank the good Lord above for reuniting his brothers on the other side, and may he keep his brothers who are still here, draw them even closer on this side. So ladies and gentlemen, to everybody, amen, who flew with us today, know I'm rooting for you, I'm cheering for you, I believe in you, and I look forward to flying with you again on the Takeoff Show. You all be blessed.